Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was the introduction to tonight's show. This is the Paranormal Portal. Hello, Mickey. How you doing? Love you, too. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you all for being here as we head into our Friday adventure. And it is Friday the 13th. And as such, as it's Friday the 13th, of course, it is incumbent upon me to keep the legend alive along with my wonderful friend and tonight's co-host, Mr. Naysay. Kevin Shores is here. How you doing, Naysay? Thanks for coming on, brother.
I'm calling in from the darkness in my eyes.
You might got darkness in your eyes, but you don't got darkness in your heart. So we'll take all that.
That was a blind joke, a sight impaired joke. I'm sorry for my dark humor.
That's okay, because I took it to the loving side.
Did you see any black cats today?
My kitten is a tuxedo, so she's got mostly black.
That doesn't count.
No, I used to have a black cat. That was Anubis, but he passed away. So I haven't seen any others. But
well, neither have I.
They're all black for you.
Exactly. Did you crawl or walk under any ladders?
No, I don't think so.
You got a horseshoe above your door?
Nope.
Is it upside down? Oh, you don't. What's some of the other? Did you pinch any salt? I mean, did you throw a pinch of salt over your shoulder?
No, I just generally don't do that. All that stuff.
So you're not into superstitions?
Not really superstitions. I'm into protecting, and that kind of thing. But I'm not really into the, horseshoe and do this, do that, don't do this, don't say that, all that stuff. It's just like it's all lost on me. I don't know. I think it's it is done unto you as you believe, and if you believe in that stuff, it becomes real. But if you just kind of just do your own thing, it doesn't seem to bother me.
One superstition that I've been realizing that I've been doing for a while now, I'd say at least 6 years, is being here with you on Friday the 13th.
Isn't that something?
Prior to the broadcast, the show, the whatever it may be labeled, I close my eyes and I squeeze myself and I think of your big old hugs, which I've only experienced in my dreams. But yeah, that's my superstition. And then everything goes well.
Yeah, it always goes really well when we get together and have a talk. And of course, this is a tradition that started on the Kev Baker show on Freaky Fridays when we did Friday the 13th. I've told this just a month ago on the last Friday the 13th, but that's where it all started. Was Kev Baker, a dear friend of both Naysay and myself, and he would invite me and usually Don on as well, and we'd come over and hang out with you guys for 3 hours on Freaky Friday. And then you guys would all come over to the portal and we'd do 2 more hours. So it was
5 hours.
5 hours of paranormal fun and goodness. And it was a good time. We had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. And yeah, we sure miss Kev. Obviously, every one of these shows that comes up is dedicated to Kev.
The Freaky Paranormal Friday Portal.
It was a bit of a mouthful. We had to work on that, but other than that, it was a lot of fun.
All right, on with the show. Sorry.
On with the show, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. As you can tell, Mr. Naysay is with us, and he is hanging out with me to help lighten the load and to continue the tradition. And we're going to go through the show and visit all the hot spots that we've come to know and love. We're going to be hitting the news momentarily, and the Ghost Radar is not on. Thank you, Rep Aussie. Appreciate it, brother. Oh, darn it. I always, sometimes I remember it, but usually I need a good reminding. It's the 13th. I looked at the date. Why did I look at the date? I'm such an idiot. But anyway, it's the 13th, and the Ghost Radar is now on. That's this little thing right here. That's the Ghost Radar. It also has a word database built in. I don't know. if the words are really relevant. Sometimes they seem surprisingly relevant, but usually it seems like a lot of nonsense. But sometimes we do find meaning. But the radar itself uses a magnetometer, which may very well be detecting EM fluctuations and anomalies. And so, is it a ghost? Well, we don't know that, but it is something triggering the magnetometer to detect an electromagnetic variation. Usually it's a...
And remember, oh, sorry.
Nope, you're good. What?
I was just going to say, remember last show, how many times, was it like 5 times during the show?
Yeah, it went off a lot. You know, and the one thing I like about the ghost radar is that it's not consistent. You know, like I'll go through weeks of the shows and it hardly does anything. And then one night it'll just be like, bam, 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 bam. Just either spitting out words or showing dots on the radar screen. And it's like, man. So, and I like that because if it was consistently always popping off, it'd be like, yeah, it's got to be some kind of algorithm. But it seems to be, very silent most of the time. But every once in a while, it really does fire off with some pretty wild things. So we'll keep an eye on it tonight, though, and see what it does. But, generally for the last couple of weeks, it hasn't done much. So we'll see. We'll see. But I think it's about time for some news. Naysay, you ready for some news?
I'm always ready for some news.
All right. Well, in the spirit of being ready for some news, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the news. The news, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
All the news you love, from the wild to the weird to the fascinating or interesting, with your host Brent Thomas.
And Naysay. So there. I had to give you a little drop in there, Naysay. That was a manual drop, not a pre-program. But
it sounded so swell that I didn't even notice.
That's the skill that I've, years of honing my own skills.
Naysay.
Naysay. Joining us tonight is Naysay. All right. Well, we got some news articles lined up for you guys. This is where we take a look at the news of the world. Sometimes it's real paranormal and right up our alley, and other times it's just interesting or fascinating or funny or weird or whatever. It's just a bunch of news, but it's never politics, so we got that going for us. So let's take a look at tonight's news stories, and remember, throughout the course of the shows, I use a lot of different websites for information and articles for us to go through, and I just ask you guys, please, please, please support these sites. Please visit them. These sites are incredibly well done, and the information is just as best as I've ever found it anywhere on years and years of surfing the web for this kind of stuff. So definitely support these sites. We don't want them to go anywhere, and your traffic does equal revenue to keep the lights on. So go give them your love. But we're going to start the journey by visiting the news site, which is unexplained-mysteries.com. This is an incredible site. I think it's from over in the UK or Europe. I don't know where they're located because they sometimes have stories that are a day ahead of us. So I figure it must be tomorrow over there, but that's okay. Wherever they are, they're doing a hell of a job, and it is still the mainstay of the Portal News. So hello to you, Werewolf. Good to see you. Hello to everybody. I'm sorry I haven't really done any shout outs tonight. We'll do some shout outs in a little bit, give people a little time to roll in, and we'll say hello to everybody in a bit. But let's get to the first article tonight. This is coming from the Space and Astronomy Files of unexplained-mysteries.com. I got to reframe this. I got to move it over a little bit. I have to shift things around because I do the what the hell is that? And then I got to shift it. And then I use the same capture for this one. All right, NASA's DART, D-A-R-T mission changed parent asteroid's trajectory, study finds. So I guess they used some kind of, some space vehicle to try to gently nudge an asteroid to see if they could actually change the trajectory. And I suppose that would be handy in, future missions where something's coming at us and we need to change its mind. So We don't need to land Bruce Willis up there with the drilling mechanism. We just need to land something on there and maybe pop some jets every once in a while. I don't know how this works, but let's check it out. A mission designed to change the trajectory of a small moonlet. You ever heard of a moonlet, Naysay? I don't think I've ever.
Seconds. Starting.
No, but it's interesting because,
Parkour.
sorry,
Epidemic Deluxe.
background noise. My bad.
Voiceover on.
But there was an old Sean Connery movie called Meteor.
Oh,
it was from the 70s.
Oh, okay.
And it has audio description. And
Nice.
so, of course, I had to rent it. And it talks about that.
Oh, does it really?
What are they going to do? And it also, Gladiator Operation. Oh, one of the nimble fingers in the chat room, if they could do a quick little search about a government program where they talked about manipulating meteorites to try to diminish the little big bada boom.
Well, I think it's called DART. Well, maybe not. But this one, the DART in this case stands for Double Asteroid Redirection Test. So, but yeah, if anybody can look that up, that'd be cool. I will read the article. Maybe it's mentioned in here, though. So let's see what the article has to say. A mission designed to change the trajectory of a small moonlet around an asteroid actually did more than expected. One of the best defenses we may ever have against the possibility of a cataclysmic asteroid strike is to send a spacecraft known as a kinetic impactor to smash into it, thus altering its trajectory just enough for it to miss the Earth. To test this idea, NASA launched a mission back in 2021 known as DART, Double Asteroid Redirection Test. For the mission, scientists chose to send the probe to collide with Dimorphos, a moonlet of the asteroid Didymos, which measured around 160 meters across and poses no actual threat to the Earth until now. Just kidding. They knocked it into our area. That's just a joke. That's not what the article says. It turned out that after smashing headlong into the space rock at 14,000 miles per hour, the spacecraft actually did alter the trajectory of Dimorphos, proving the concept could work. Now, though, a new study has revealed that DART did more than change the path of the object. It actually also changed the trajectory of the parent asteroid Didymos as well. Oh, I suppose because they probably have a gravitational interplay going on. While it's important to note that the actual change is tiny, just a fraction of a second out of a 770-day orbit period it still proves that something like this can be done. Even a small change can mean the difference between an asteroid hitting or missing the Earth. This tiny change to the orbit, but given enough time, even a tiny change can grow to significant deflection, said NASA's Thomas Statler. The team's amazingly precise measurement validates kinetic impact as a technique for defending Earth against asteroid hazards and shows how a binary asteroid might be deflected by impacting just one member of the pair. Well, there you go. Guess there was two in that case, and by just hitting one, it changed everything. So there you go. Not bad, huh, Naysay?
It's like playing asteroid belt billiards.
Yeah, exactly. It's like pinball. Yeah.
And if we think of that whole electromagnetic occurrence with the attributes of magnetism, the alignment of the planets on the opposite side of the sun, would that not cause more of a pull or an attraction from that asteroid belt, thus dislodging one or two or a couple or a bunch?
It'll just start raining asteroids.
And as the Earth is playing dodgeball while running through that barrage, what a wonderful word, barrage of meteors heading to the sun.
Yeah, yeah.
Big bada boom. Drinking game.
Bada bing,
Second
bada
one.
boom. Multi-pass. All right, yeah, that's cool. I guess it worked. They found out they could do it, so we got that going for us, ladies and gentlemen. But don't worry, there's more news yet. We're not done here. God, this is from the world of the bizarre, Naysay. And I'm here to tell you, if you got to deal with inclement weather, this might be a good one. I would definitely be out there and like laying Ziploc baggies all over my lawn, because apparently this really happened. What am I speaking of? Well, I'm glad you asked, because according to unexplained-mysteries.com, the world of the bizarre files, Kentucky County celebrates 150th anniversary of meat falling from the sky. There was meat falling from the sky. Oh my God. How about that? How about that? I mean, it's not lizards or fish or frogs or locusts. It's meat. Let's see what this says. A bizarre incident that occurred back in 1876 has been recreated as part of a local celebrations this month. Across the United States, there's no shortage of bizarre celebrations, and the peculiarly named Kentucky Meat Shower Festival. That sounds like a porn, doesn't it? I mean, Jesus, is definitely one of the strangest. I'm an idiot. Sorry. The event celebrates a little-known case of Fortean phenomena, a name given to mysterious and paranormal events based on the work of Charles Forte, or Forts, I don't know how you pronounce that, that occurred on March 3rd, 1876. The story goes that a woman in Olympia Springs, Bath County, had been outside that particular day when pieces of meat started to rain down from the sky, seemingly without any natural cause. Some even say she may have been hit in the face by one piece. Don't say anything. Just keep reading. But the tale remains unconfirmed. Somehow this obscure event ended up inspiring modern-day festival, which this year has marked 150 years to the day since the mystery meat fell from the heavens. Oh, no. Well, she got slapped with meat, Jeremy says. Yeah. To celebrate, festival goers were treated to their own meat shower. This is just so wrong. Though in this case, it was reenacted by dropping hundreds of meat sticks from a plane flying overhead. There were also plenty of food trucks offering various types of meats to buy and consume. Bizarrely, the events even featured a presentation by Transylvania University professor Kurt Goad, who brought with him what is thought to be the last surviving and preserved piece of the original meat that fell from the sky all those years ago. Whether or not it really is the original meat, we certainly wouldn't recommend sampling it. We got to watch this. This is a news clip in here, ladies and gentlemen. I got to see this. This is from Fox 56 News right here in the Paranormal Portal News. Let's check this out. I have no idea, but let's take a look. Oop.
Well, it sounds like a tall tale, but it happened right here in Kentucky. Today, the Bath County community celebrated a mystery dating back to the late 1800s when meat fell from the sky. Jay Sobarto has the story.
It's been 150 years, so no one who actually saw it is still here to tell the tale. But a weather phenomenon in Bath County has stood the test of time.
It is very strange, but kind of cool.
I think it's pretty ludicrous.
On a clear, cloudless March day in 1876, meat from the sky near Olympia Springs. For about 2 minutes, chunks of flesh fell onto the farm belonging to a Mr. and Mrs. Crouch.
But it's basically this area. She asked her grandson who was with her, what was that, when she heard something hit the ground. He looked up and said, it's snowing. And then she looked up and saw that it wasn't snow at all, but meat.
Some say it was horse meat, others swear it was bear or even venison.
All of those could be true, because probably what it resulted from is a flock of vultures flying overhead, vomiting.
A piece of that.
Are you serious? They're chalking this up to vultures? A flock of vultures flying overhead vomiting. Okay, that's like, swamp gas on Uranus kind of thing there.
mystery meat has been preserved and is being kept at Transylvania University, but it was brought out for the masses to see on Saturday for a festival commemorating the 150-year anniversary of this so-called meat shower.
I couldn't believe this is actually a thing, so we live in Winchester, and I thought we gotta go. We gotta go see what this is actually all about.
Hell
To
yeah,
honor
you
such
gotta
an
go.
unusual event in history, the festival
Would you miss the meat festival? I mean, come on. What kind of swag do you get from the meats festival?
It's just like pastrami, salami, pate, venison, bison.
It's like for sure.
And you know, if it was a cow that actually hit, if it landed,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be literally ground meat?
That would qualify as ground meat for sure. All of it would, yeah.
needed to meet the occasion, complete with a mystery meat chili cook-off, a hot dog eating contest, and even a bologna rolling contest.
Oh, dear God.
I think that's how communities are built, right? It's like
That's how communities are built. Just roll some meat around.
That's a community? A what? Unity come together?
Oh my God. It's like, hey kids, let's roll some bologna.
A butcher's heaven.
We're team building. Oh no.
Don't forget the gravy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the next day.
strange thing about your town that brings you all together for any reason, really.
Now, a century and a half later, history repeated itself and meat fell from the sky in Bath County once again. But this time, we know where it came from.
There it is.
More than 1,800 pieces of individually wrapped beef were dropped out of an airplane onto a crowd anxiously waiting below. As the beef began to fall, it wasn't confusion on their faces. This time, it was smiles as people scrambled to collect the pieces, celebrating a moment in history that has kept people talking for 150 years and may just keep them talking for 150 more. In Owingsville, Jay Sobardo, Fox 56 News.
Boy, he better be careful how he says Fox.
Did they say Transylvania University?
Yeah, apparently there's a Transylvania University around there.
That's where my second question was, because I'm like, what?
In Kentucky, I guess. Yeah. I mean, hell, everybody's got to be known for something, but I don't know. I don't know if the meat festival is right, like the one you should have picked. They should have picked something else. Is it bizarre? Hell yeah, it's bizarre. It's not supposed to rain meat. But what the hell?
But it was 1776, so I wonder if some superhuman strength individual celebrating the 4th of July
it was 1876.
threw it up. Oh, 1876. Yeah. Well, maybe it's somebody in a bicentennial.
March 3rd, 1876. So, what would have been the centennial? Yeah, no, almost the centennial, yeah. But it was March,
bizarre.
July. It is bizarre, yeah. It's very, very strange. That's what the kind of news you've come to expect from the Paranormal Portal. You poor bastards. All right, let's see what else I got, because I don't know how we're going to top that, but we got one more to go through here. Let's see what we got. Here we go. That's kind of macabre. That's a little macabre. But I guess, maybe I'm going to skip that. I don't know if I'm going to do that one. Let me look at the other possibilities here. Oh, this one I want to do. This is definitely in our wheelhouse. I pulled this one up several days ago, and I was like, "Ooh, what?" Well, just be careful if you're in Florida. That's all I'm going to say, because something weird's going on down in Florida. Something weird's going on here in the studio too. Somebody stopped in, but here you go. This is, I guess, sobering news. I wouldn't want to see this, but be careful if you're in Florida. Here it is. You want to know why? Here's why. According to unexplained-mysteries.com, Creatures, Myths, and Legends, worker recalls seeing gigantic 10-inch scorpions in Florida. 10-inch scorpions? That's like some Dungeons and Dragons shit right there, isn't it? Holy Lord, sorry for the cussing, but jeez, I don't think 10 inches is good. Let's see what it says. Cryptozoologist Dr. Carl Schuker recently received an intriguing email from a man with a fascinating story to tell. Tales of gargantuan scorpions, both in the United States and elsewhere, have been doing the rounds for years, with some stories detailing arachnids measuring as much as a foot or more in length. I've heard some of those stories. In a recent blog entry, Dr. Carl Schuker, a zoologist and science writer with a keen interest in the field of cryptozoology, reports on a detailed correspondence he recently received from a Florida man who claimed to have encountered giant scorpions back in the 80s. The man had been working as a hazardous waste specialist. There it is, folks. You heard all the memes through the years. The radioactive waste, Godzilla. This is how it starts. At the time, and had seen scorpions on a regular basis, particularly while inspecting waste around the Highlands leather factory in Sebring. On one particular occasion, however, recalled seeing a particularly large specimen, almost a foot in length, quickly scurrying across the floor and out of sight. 10 inches, it's huge. Even with the largest known species of scorpion in the U.S., the giant desert hairy scorpion, grows up to around 14 centimeters in length, approximately half the size of this one. 5 is still way too big for any scorpion, but believing his eyes to be playing tricks on him, the man mentioned the sightings to the factory's owner, who promptly took him into a back room to show him something he'd previously caught in a big jar. Incredibly, it turned out to be a scorpion around 10 inches in length, an absolute monster. Even the largest known scorpion in the world, the giant forest scorpion, is smaller than this. The factory where this occurred received hides from countries all over the world, so it's possible these scorpions had hitched a ride from somewhere else. Their huge size, however, certainly raises some interesting questions. Could there be a population of giant exotic scorpions hiding out in North America? You can read the full story on Schuker's blog via the link below. I'm going to put a link, this link to this article in the chats, and you guys can click on this article link and then find the link on the bottom of this to Carl Schuker's blog, and you can check out that story for yourself. That sounds absolutely horrifying. What do you think about a 10-inch scorpion, Naysay?
Who was was it Bob Lazar, I think, who claimed to be at Area 51?
Yeah.
And I think it was him. It might have been somebody else, forgive me, but they talked about these huge scorpions that were in the facility, and they would be of like neon colors, and they somewhat illuminated.
Oh. So some kind of UFO stuff? Or
well, no, that they were either GMO, radiation, something. I wouldn't be surprised with chimeras or whatever, these scientists that are like, I'm just going to do it. But
jeez. Well, yeah, that's creepy. I mean, yeah, exactly. And it's the old Jurassic Park thing, where it's, I think it's Jeff Goldblum. You scientists never want, you only wonder if you can do something, not if you should do something. Yeah.
I also dropped a link, Cannabis Res, if you notice that, the blind guy. Well, it's a song by Wookiefoot called The Frog and the Scorpion.
Oh, sure. Okay.
You heard the story?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Was that the last news, or was there one more?
That was it for the news. We got a lot of...
Can I do a bumper out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, sure. I go and sit. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. That was the news on Paranormal Portal with Brent Thomas and Naysay. And now, back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Let's get back to it, folks.
When breaking news happens, Paranormal Portal is there.
It's not looking so good out here, Brent.
Award-winning and most trusted news.
Brent, the thief broke into the donut shop in the middle of the night. Be on the lookout. The man is in his late 60s, heavy set, and wearing some kind of hat.
First, live, local.
Is this a paranormal show? Why am I doing the weather?
This is Paranormal Portal News.
There it is, folks. That's the news. Thanks for that custom stinger, Naysay. I appreciate that. just got to close that last
My
article.
pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. It is our pleasure, sir. Our pleasure. All right. Rachel says, dang scientists, let's invent a sugar-free gummy bear because people don't accidentally go number 2 in their pants enough. Yeah, you can never get those loose stools. You're never really ready for them. When they happen, they just kind of show up. I think some scorpions react to black lights and start to glow. Yeah, they have like a biological luminescence in black light. Scorpions do. In fact, that's one of the ways people hunt them is to take black lights into the desert and just kind of shine them around because scorpions will they glow, they pop with this really blue color in the black light. So they are like a rave poster, like a walking rave poster, honestly. So yeah, that's true. That is true. That's how it works. So let's see. Naysay, do you want to take a minute and just explain to people who you are? If people are just tuning in, like they're hearing your voice and they're like, who is this guy?
I am the AI, and I am taking control at this moment. No, I'm just a dude. I'm just an entity who did what he did and did what it was, and hopefully I made people giggle and laugh a couple times. But I've been around the block, TikTok, and it's never going to stop. But hey, that's the way I roll with the flow because, I'm here with Brent Thomas at the Paranormal Portal.
Do you know last time you were on, somebody thought you were an AI?
Yes, that's why I did. Some call that a callback.
Yeah. Biofluorescence. Yes, that's it, Mike. That's what they are. Biofluorescent. Yep.
You bring a blue light, black light into this house, it's going to look like a Jack Pollock painting.
I don't want to know why.
Because I got a lot of ectoplasm all over the house.
Yeah, what you're calling it.
All right. Yeah, ectoplasm.
All right. Well, we got an article to get to, folks. We're going to get to one from Listverse, and this is one that we've had. I don't know if I want this one. Not this one. That one may be cool. This one kind of sounds cool. So I got a choice here, folks. I got 2 choices. Well, there's 3, but I don't want to read that one either. So I got 2 choices for you guys. I'm going to put them up on screen. You're going to vote 1 or 2. All right, so be ready. Here is your choices for the article we're going to do now. You guys are going to vote with your number 1 or number 2 button on your keyboard. You don't have those buttons on your mouse. Okay, so here's the first article. What the hell? I got to remember to close these things. There we go. From Listverse, this is 10 UFO encounters that involve alien humanoid entities. So that's the first one. Let me realign it here so you guys can see. There it is. 10 UFO encounters that involve alien humanoid entities. This is choice number 1. Choice number 2 in your choices are 10 UFO encounters that you've never heard about. So what do you want to read? Do you want to read about 10 UFO encounters you've never heard about? Or do you want to read, that's number 2, or number 1, 10 UFO encounters that involve alien humanoid entities? Time to vote. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, somebody get ready to tabulate this. Please. There's lots of numbers. I'm so confused. All right. Lots of 2s, actually. Looks like 2s are winning. Looks like the 2s are winning, huh? Looks like that's this one. Let's see. What do we got? Yeah, that's true. Unknown says, yeah, you shouldn't have started with the big meat story. Everything everyone says now sounds dirty. Okay, Jeremy saying 2 wins. We got a few 1s coming in, though, now. 1 or 2. BJ's kind of in the middle there. Linda, there's no 3, 4, 5, or 6. 2s. Yeah, I'm not showing a video right now, Lori. I'm just What do you mean? Oh, you mean any of the video you can't see? Try refreshing, maybe. I don't know what's going on. Everybody else seeing us okay? Seeing me okay? Let me know if there's any connection issues.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything either.
True.
I'm going to say 1.
You are?
Since it seems like more people are saying 2.
Okay. 21215. Elaine, you're not helping.
That's because I'm one of the Kuel kids. Kewl. Kuel.
How are you not?
Kuel.
The unknown. Why are you not seeing anything? I don't see.
Because I'm blind.
No, unknown. That's
my bad.
Nope, that's fine. 12 to 7, 2 wins. Okay. We're going. Oh, let me remove my blindfold. Unknown says he's got a blindfold on. Okay, that'll do it. Yeah, you won't see much. Carju says 2 over there in there. Wonderful news, Big D. What happened? Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that, Big D. Great. Barbara Moore wanted 2 as well. So yeah, 2 did win. All right, let's go and read number 2. 10 UFO encounters that you've never heard about. And again, this is coming from Listverse. I know what I did. I remember what I did now. I made my head bigger. Let me shrink my head a little bit. There we go. Now I fit a little better. It's easier to see things. All right, so this is written, this article comes from November 6th of 2018, so it's a little dated, but the stuff's always evergreen. It's written by Jonathan Jeffries. Again, this is a Listverse article. Listverse.com is where you'd find this. It was fact-checked by Jamie Frater, so let's check it out. Number 10, U.S. Navy pilots encounter UFO mid-flight. In 2004, 2 United States Navy pilots, Commander David Fravor, we're all pretty familiar with this, the Tic Tac ones, and Lieutenant Commander Jim Slight were both conducting a military training exercise off the coast of San Diego. During their training, the pilots received a message from an operator located on a nearby base informing them of the presence of a strange aircraft within their airspace. According to the operator, the military had been tracking this unidentified aircraft for weeks, and the UFO sometimes performed strategic movements such as sudden dive or even hovering motion. Both pilots were then asked to investigate and attempted to obtain a visual of the unidentified aircraft. After searching for quite a while, Slate and Frater spotted the aircraft. According to their reports, it was a 12-meter or 40-foot long object. Fravor stated that the UFO hovered for about 15 meters or 50 feet above the ocean and appeared to disturb the water beneath it. Fravor attempted to move closer to the UFO, but while he was making his descent, the object rose from its hover to meet Fravor and then took off at an unimaginable speed. In his statement, Fravor told reporters, "I can tell you, I think it was not from this world." Yeah, that's one of the Tic Tac craft. So wasn't this that you've never heard about? But we've definitely heard about that one. But again, this is from 2018, so maybe it was lesser known then. That's possible. Number 9, 2 commercial airline pilots encounter a UFO over Arizona. Arizona seems to get quite a bit of this stuff, right, Naysay?
The Phoenix Lights?
Yeah, Phoenix Lights, for sure. One of the biggest sightings in American history.
Wasn't flares. No way, no how.
No, it wasn't flares. But I think they went and shot off flares just to make it look like that could have been it. But
well, remember was it the governor or the mayor
what was
did that
Fife?
Ridiculous press conference and
Fife.
they had the
Fife Stevens or Stevenson, whatever his name was. Yeah, he did that. Oh, yeah, we got it figured out. And he had one of his aides dress up like an alien gray. Meanwhile, people were collectively actually pooping themselves because they saw something they couldn't explain, and then he made a joke of it. And then it emerged later, oh, actually, I saw it for real, too. I just didn't know what to do about it. So he tried to backtrack it and say he actually witnessed the real event as well. But after he made an absolute joke of it on a press conference, so.
You know what my speculation it was?
Huh.
It was a release of a carrier type ship that is filled with drone technology that is just slowly putting away up there in the upper atmosphere, and at a beck and call, they can push a button and release a fleet of drones. Remember Chris Everett?
No, I mean Chris Everett, wasn't that a tennis player?
No, Chris Everett. He was used to be on Sundays on Paranormal Portal with Scotty.
On Paranormal Portal? On my show? My show?
No. Oh, Paranormal Portal. On TFR.
Oh, okay. I don't remember him. Okay.
But he has a documentary called The Rise of the Superstate.
Oh.
Rise of the Superstate. And it's all about robotic military and yeah. And now this is where my speculation is going with William Cooper, when in the late 90s, the granddaddy of UFO.
Mm-hmm.
He said in the late 90s that a larger percent he believes was our technology.
Yeah,
and if you look at the UAV, put that in a search engine.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Okay.
Unmanned aerial vehicles.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the military acronym for it. You might find a little more than what you do with the UFO or UAP now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, anything's possible. I don't doubt that at least some of it's ours, or some black projects anyway. Tim Mothman in the chat said, "Hey, wait, isn't today the anniversary of the Phoenix Lights?" I don't know if it is or not. Actually, could be. Anybody want to check that out on Google? Please do.
But I'm not being dismissive, because I do believe.
Oh yeah. No, I know.
I do believe. I've had encounters where I'm still like, what the heck?
Right. Okay. Right. Well, let's read what this one says. On February 24th, 2018, a UFO was spotted above Arizona by two pilots who were in the middle of their flights when they encountered the aircraft. The pilot of a Learjet 36 spotted an aircraft flying over and above his plane. He then asked the controller on duty if any other plane had passed by him, and the controller said no, even going on to joke that the aircraft might have been a UFO. Little did they know that the joke was about to become very real. Shortly after speaking to the Learjet pilot, the controller contacted another pilot flying an American Airlines plane and asked the pilot to inform him if an aircraft passes over their airplane. A while later, the American Airlines pilot radioed in and reported that an unknown aircraft had just flown past his plane at a great speed. He also reported that the UFO had lights that illuminated the entire object. Although both pilots had seen balloons at that altitude, the Learjet pilot stated the only thing different about this was that it was too bright. There's an old saying that states that you should be careful what you wish for. In this case of the pilots and the controller, you should also be careful what you joke about, because your joke might just come flying over you at high speed. Ooh, little cheeky ending there. Like that. There you go. Number 8 in our article, UFO hovers above East Mountain. In case you were wondering, this UFO sighting was not reported by pilots. During the Cold War, the U.S. Air Force had a radar base at the foot of Vermont's East Mountain. Over 175 men were stationed at this base and lived about 1.6 kilometers down from the mountain. In 1961, a strange object suddenly appeared in the sky above East Mountain. According to the military reports, the UFO held its position in the sky for 18 minutes. That's a god long time. I mean, that's a long time for some anomalous object just to be sitting above a mountain. I mean, and it just kind of shows that they're not really actively hiding from us. They really don't care. It's like, what are you going to do about it, huh? I mean, really, what are we going to do about it? Nothing. We're going to watch it sit there and then go wherever the hell it's going. So, interesting. All right, we're going to go to number 7, the Hill family abduction. All right, this encounter occurred in 1961, on the same year as the UFO sighting above East Mountain in Vermont. It was also one of the earliest publicized reports of abduction by beings from another planet. Betty and Barney Hill claim to have been abducted by an extraterrestrial beings on the night of September 19th during their journey home to New Hampshire. While on the road, they saw a light flash in the sky. They initially thought that it was a shooting star, but quickly changed their minds when they saw the light began to change direction. They then decided to pull over in the hopes of getting a better view of this unusual light. Using binoculars, they discovered that the light was actually an unusual ship, flashing lights of all colors. After seeing this, the couple drove off and continued to head home. As they traveled, the couple noticed that the aircraft was descending closer to their vehicle. They estimated that the aircraft was about 12 meters or 40 feet long. The UFO dropped so close to their car that they stopped, and this time Barney was able to see human-like humanoid figures in black uniforms through the windows of the ship. Startled, the couple took off again, and this time at a much faster pace. They then began to hear noises emanating from the UFO while experiencing a tingling sensation throughout their bodies. The couple then blacked out and awoke nearly 56 kilometers away from where they originally were. After enduring this frightening experience, both Barney and Betty Hill later gave statements under hypnosis that they were taken onto the UFO and were examined by the extraterrestrial beings that occupied it. Today, there's a sign near the area where the Hills were abducted describing the events that reportedly took place that night in 1961. I think it's probably the first actively reported and investigated abduction situation in the United States. I don't know of any others that have been scrutinized quite like that one. Do you, Naysay?
No, but I think maybe at the end of this little segment, I might share the Badlands story.
Oh, for sure.
Do you remember that one?
I don't recall it right offhand, but I remember that you had a story about the Badlands. I don't remember the merit of it, though. But we'll get into that at the end. I'm on number 6. Multiple sightings in Exeter, New Hampshire. Another monumental New England UFO encounter happened in September 3rd, 1965, in Exeter, New Hampshire. According to author John G. Fuller, a policeman on patrol just after midnight approached a woman who was parked beside the road. The woman was attempting to catch her breath as she told the officer that a UFO had been chasing her down the road. Thank you, Lori. I'll thank you in a minute. After a few hours had passed, a young man came to the police station and claimed that he saw a line of 5 bright lights over a house while he was hitchhiking on a nearby highway. He also stated that the lights continued to appear and reappear behind a line of trees moving over a field. The young man then led several police officers to the exact location where he saw the lights. Sure enough, the officers witnessed everything that the young man had told them about the station at the station earlier. As weeks passed, officers continued to get reports of UFO sightings in the city of Exeter, receiving a total of 60 in all. That's a lot of reports, so obviously they were seeing something. Number 5, the flying saucer in Rhode Island. This is definitely an East Coast article. On June 10th, 1967, Harold Trudell was able to capture some of the most groundbreaking photos of a UFO during that time. Trudell claimed to have seen UFOs many times before, but decided that June 10th would be the day that he would obtain documentation of what he had seen. Around midday, Trudell waited patiently on West Wrentham Road near the east of the city of East Woonsocket, Rhode Island. According to Trudell, after he'd sat for a few minutes, a UFO descended from the clouds above and hovered over a nearby power line. It was then that Trudell was able to capture his photos of the craft. His images show an unusual object floating in the sky. The UFO remained in its hovering state, allowing Trudell to capture 7 separate pictures of it. They had slow cameras back then. And the pictures are up on your screen, and what it looks like, Naysay, is, those tops? Those tops that kids get and they spin them? And they kind of look like a really fat flying saucer.
Yeah, the old-fashioned one where it had like the little button at the top you lift up and down, and that would get it spinning.
Yep, and it just has a little nub on the bottom in the middle. Yeah, that's what this looks like. Is in both of the pictures, like And the quality is really not great, but it's a black and white camera from back in the day. So,
who was the one-armed individual in Europe?
One-armed individual in Europe?
Yeah, he was a famous for catching allegedly photos of the Palladians.
Oh, I don't know.
But he only had one arm.
Oh, okay.
But he knew he got a sensation or an inkling or whatever.
Huh. Okay.
And he would grab his camera and go out and capture. But allegedly, some of them were disproven. But
oh, gotcha.
That was that classic kind of top style type craft.
Yeah, that's exactly what these look like, is those tops. That's exactly what comes to my mind. You almost expect there to be like a groove for the string, where you'd zip it and then it would just go. That's really what it looks like. So, I don't know.
What was that noise again? How did it go?
Like that kind of.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
Almost had it perfect.
Yeah, I just spitballing it, but yeah. All right, let's go to number 4, strange lights in Newtown, Connecticut. And I don't know if this is a photo, but it looks like basically like a necklace of various colored lights. But let's see what it says. On May 26, 1987, a man named Randy Edding was taking an evening stroll in his hometown of Newtown, Connecticut. After walking for a while, he noticed that there were orange and red lights present in the sky, which were moving in a western direction. Being a commercial airline pilot, aliens must really love pilots. Edding often observed the sky and knew that these lights were unlike anything he had ever seen. He then took out his binoculars and ushered his neighbors to come outside and see what he was looking at. In a later statement, Edding said that even cars on the highway pulled over to watch as the lights passed over the interstate in 84. Police reports confirm Edding's statement, showing that between 9:30 and 10:15 p.m., over 200 people reported seeing a UFO in the area. Edding was also able to capture a picture of the lights as they continue to move. His image depicts a multicolored semicircle composed of various colors. The witnesses also claimed that their vehicles completely lost power while the UFO was above them. Minutes later, calls came in from nearby town of New Milford, detailing reports similar to those that came in from Newtown. After a while, the lights simply vanished, and it was never confirmed whether or not they came from a man-made aircraft or if they were truly not of this world. What do you think? I think it's a UFO. But yeah, the picture that they do provide is very black, and then there's this, looks like a string of lights in actually like a horseshoe shape, but it's more smashed into a circular shape. But it's not all the way around, but it's most of the way around. Interesting. I don't know. All right, number 3, square aircraft spotted in North Carolina. Let's check this one out. This particular sighting occurred on August 18th, 2018. Javion Hill was driving on US 74 just southwest of Charlotte, North Carolina, when on the phone with his wife. Hill spotted on, what was it, 2018? Yeah, they'd have cell phones. Okay. I was like, what date was this? Hill spotted unusual lights in the nearby clouds, and they were shaped in the form of a square. Well, Hill took several pictures of the lights while driving, and even took the next exit in hopes of capturing a video. When he attempted to do so, the lights suddenly vanished, and Hill recalls that a huge storm followed immediately afterwards. Hill, who before seeing the lights did not believe in UFOs, said that he could barely sleep that night. I was worried for my safety, he said. I did not believe in UFOs until that moment. And there is a picture here. I assume this is a picture he took. Yeah, it says Hill took several pictures of the lights while driving, and even took the next exit in hopes of capturing a video. And what we can see in this one, Naysay, is it's like a city skyline at night, and it looks like a cloudy sky, dark clouds, but there is looks like a rectangular shape that has lights in it. It's not completely filled. We only get the the side towards us and the bottom and the top, but not the side that would be away from us. We're not able to see that.
Well, the whole story just falls apart when in the story it says a square and you're saying that it's a rectangle. I mean, just basic geometry in these individuals.
Yeah, but it could be perspective. Maybe at some point it looked more square and it was more angled this time when he took the actual pictures. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. But yeah, you're right. That is a discrepancy. All right,
All right, I give it to him.
Okay.
I relinquish my argument.
All right, UFO in Jerusalem. In 2011, 2 videos surfaced of a strange object descending and hovering over the Dome of the Rock in the city of Jerusalem. The videos sparked a huge internet debate over their credibility. Note that many now consider the videos to be fake. In one of the videos, a round object can be seen floating above the Islamic shrine. The object remains for a while, and then a bright light suddenly emanates from the ship, and it ascends to the sky rapidly. The second video was taken at a distance from a nearby mountain, but the distance did not take away from what many people saw that morning. The video again showed the object hover, flash a bright light, and then rise at a rapid pace. Although the individuals who filmed the encounter spoke a different language, the sound of awe and mystery was easy to interpret as they stood and observed the object. There is a video on this one, but again, I don't know how long it would be. I mean, do I do this? No, I don't want to do this. I'll put the link in the chat. You guys can check out the video of it yourself. Apparently people are saying it's not real. Okay, this one's pretty famous. This one has been around a while. Chicago airline employees spot a UFO above the tarmac. This is O'Hare, Chicago O'Hare. And people saw a UFO hovering right above one of the concourses where the planes are parked, either getting passengers or disembarking passengers. But apparently it hovered there and then suddenly shot up and made a perfect circle in the clouds as it went up. But it was like a flying saucer. So let's check out this one. In November 2006, a commercial airliner was preparing to take flight from Chicago's O'Hare International Airport to North Carolina. While working on the tarmac, a United Airlines employee noticed that there was a gray craft hovering over gate C-17. A few other United employees, along with a couple of witnesses outside the airport, spotted the exact same aircraft. According to reports, witnesses say the unidentified aircraft hovered over the gate for a few minutes before shooting upward into the sky. The witnesses also report that the aircraft left a hole in the clouds big enough for them to see the blue of the sky above. After receiving the reports, the FAA called the encounter a weather phenomena. Of course they did. Of course they did. And declined to investigate. The unidentified craft was not seen on radar. So there you go. There it is. Those were 10 UFO encounters you've never heard about, except we've heard about a lot of those. So, but this is where we live. We live in this weird stuff. So we're not your normal choir. So Naysay, take us on that journey.
So at 1995, July 4th week, prior to that, the previous fall, I had to come to the realization that my concrete pony had to be put down, which bummed me out because I was planning on going to the Black Hills on my motorcycle the following summer.
Concrete pony. I was like, what the hell is a concrete pony? I got it now. Motorcycle. Okay.
Motorcycle. Yep.
Yeah.
And so my buddy, Jammer, nickname, he said, I'm going to take you to the Black Hills. And so we loaded up in his truck and went to the Black Hills, went to Bear Butte, then went through the Black Hills down south to Wounded Knee Massacre.
Oh, wow.
Down there at Pine Ridge. Then we drove across country and then went up through the Badlands. And then at the end, we went to a camping area because it was getting afternoon. And we're like, let's just chill out here. And so we pull over from this beautiful campsite. And it was a big old circle. And it said, watch out for bison. But that's later.
Okay.
And so we got out. And I said, hey, buddy, you ever tried these before? Pizza toppings?
Okay.
And I'm like, let's do it. And we did it.
Mm-hmm.
And we hiked up the hill and got pretty high up on the hill, pun intended. And I'm using a cane, so my health is diminishing.
Oh, yeah.
We get up there, and then we come down, and on the way down, we find this huge flat area with all these footprints of bison and big upheavals of the dirt and the grass being pressed down and everything, and tufts of bison fur. And it was the site of where two male bison apparently had a little showdown.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I gathered up all the bison fur and everything and took pictures of it. And we continued going down the hill, made dinner, and we're feeling it, laughing, giggling, everything, staying up at the fire, talking, squawking. And then we go to bed. Fire dies out. We climb in the bed. He helps me down on the ground and sleep in there. All of a sudden, I wake up in the middle of the night, and it looks like there's a vehicle with its brights on, shining at the tent. And no noise, just this bright light. All of a sudden, from the bottom of the tent, in the light, shadows started coming up towards the tent. And these shadows look like children in size. It reminds me, reflecting on it, on Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Right, yeah.
When they opened up the thing and they showed all the little short aliens, you know, in the light. And you could just see their shadows. That's what it reminded me of. So I'm up on my elbows, looking down at my feet and seeing this on the wall of the tent. And then I'm like, Jammer! Jammer! And I go to wake him up, and he's all like, what? And I'm like, look. And that's all I remember.
Oh.
All of a sudden, I wake up the next morning, and I have to use the facilities.
Sure.
And so I had to crawl out of the tent and work my way up to get up to do this. I get up, stand up. Right across the road outside of the ring was this huge bison just standing there staring at me. And I'm like, oh no.
Oh no.
Maybe about 10 yards away. And it just does this shake of the head. And it turns around and starts walking away.
Thank God.
I forgot about having to pee. And I'm like, Jammer, wake up. And he's like, what? I'm like, get my camera. And so he wakes up, grabs my camera, come out, and we get a couple good pictures of the bison as it's walking away.
Oh, cool.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, dude, what happened last night? And he's like, what? And I'm like, do you remember me waking you up? And he's like, no. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh, no.
And he's like, no, I don't remember. I said, dude, I was yelling your name, and there was a bright light shining. And I pointed because we were outside the tent from there.
Yeah.
But behind the tent was the ring, but it was maybe about 5 yards away before the ring of the driveway, and we drove the truck up. You know, so the truck is we're at the head of the tent looking east.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the truck is to the left of us, north, and the ring is to the south. Or excuse me, to the east, past the back of the tent.
Oh, wow.
You know, so where this bright light came from, you know, I guess if a car or a truck was parked there, you know, but whatever it was, it was. And to this day, me and my buddy, we get in arguments because we argue about this 4th of July trip. And I'm like, dude, remember when we were abducted?
He's like,
because
no, you weren't. No, you weren't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I keep joking that we were abducted. And he says no. But just the whole signs of it and the bison and the, yeah. But I don't know. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Have you ever thought about like regressive hypnosis just to see if there's something to recover?
Well, we've had some conversations about, about just weirdness. Like if you look at some of the side effects or symptoms of abduction,
sure,
I've had some.
Yeah.
Like the scoop. It's like a little scoop that people get, like little cuts, but it looks like a little scoop of skin. Anywhere from like a centimeter in length, but it's like somebody took like a cheese grater, and just took a little thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Plus I had that story about the VA and that exploratory surgery where they allegedly took something out of me and never told me what it was. But
yeah. Wow. Not like
just the bizarre, this was the continuing saga of Naysay, as you know, and the old school listeners that I've had weirdness, a not average life.
Yeah,
in
that's
America.
for sure. That's definitely for sure. Speaking of not average, how's the activity been around your place? Is it...
Well, I'm the woman that I'm not seeing.
Yeah.
We get into discussions about this.
Mm-hmm.
She's more of a Christian upbringing, so everything not explained is demonic. But I don't believe that. I think in the totality of positive, neutral, and negative within energies and entities. So I've never felt threatened,
right,
or any type of negativity in my home.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like things happening,
said kept.
Yep. So there's times when I think they do make themselves known.
Sure.
But one thing that, I had an individual one time when I did my ride across the state of Minnesota, and I met this individual, and we were at a VFW celebrating the brand new park in the city I grew up in, North St. Paul, Minnesota.
Okay.
And we went there to the gala. They asked me to be a guest speaker there because of my ride and everything. And we're in there, and then we're leaving, and this guy is like, "Can I help you guys?" And my dad's like, "Sure." Any opportunity to get help with my wheelchair in the van and getting me in and stuff. So we get me in there, and I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and this guy comes up and he's like, "Hey, I just want to let you know this. And I'm sorry if it sounds bizarre. So I'm going to tell you anyway." And my dad laughed, and he said, "Sir, this whole experience has been bizarre in my in my view."
Yeah.
My dad being European English descent.
Yep.
And he's like, "Well, for the last 15, 20 years, I've had this entity that has been following me around. He's of a Native American origin, like a warrior or a brave. And he said that he'd be hanging around for a while until he had to go, and he's waiting for somebody. And apparently you are that somebody."
Oh, wow.
Because earlier today he said, "Hey, I'm going to be leaving you."
Wow.
And so I just got goosebumps thinking about this story again.
Yeah.
And he said, "So if you ever get the impression that there's something around you, don't be surprised that he's watching your back."
Oh.
And I've been told this several times by those that claim to have, gifts, talents. Even our dear friend, who I'm talking about, the psyche with the mostest.
Yeah. Yep.
But she's even told me these things, that something has my back. So I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So for some reason I'm still around.
You are, brother.
And so it's to do something. I keep thinking maybe my presidential role in 2028, let's make the world great with America's participation.
There you go.
Or governor of Minnesota or senator of Minnesota. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
I got a role for something.
That'd be cool. I think you should go for it for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, those are crazy, cool experiences. But I know you've generally got activity around you pretty consistently. So I had to ask because, unfortunately, even though we've been friends for years and years and years, unfortunately, we don't talk as much as I wish we did. So when I do get a hold of you, it's like, oh, I wanted to ask you about this. I want to ask you about this. So that's why I threw it in now. It's like, well, let's talk about that because you've definitely had your share of weirdness going on, and you're kind of a magnet for it. So.
Well, the open invitation has always been there. Jump on the train. I got the vehicle.
Yeah.
On the res, I told you there's a couple spots I'd love to bring you to. Down there in Fergus Falls, they got the old asylum that I have some connections with.
Maybe this summer we'll have to see. I'll go home and visit Portal Mom and the family and stuff. But maybe we'll make a bit of a detour and come by you there. Hey,
maybe during the
Paranormal Paul.
powwow.
That'd be really cool.
In
I'd
June.
love that.
We'll talk later about it. Anyway, there's more of the show to go to.
There is. We got a little bit more to cook here. Paranormal Paul came in. Good to see you, brother. Nice to have you here. Paul's Paranormal. It is now Paul's Paranormal. You changed your name. That's cool. Either way, whatever you are, you'll always be Paul to me. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take just a quick break to run to the loo quick. So, in the interim, I will leave you with the musical stylings of me and a little video for you to watch. So don't go anywhere. We got a lot more to get to, but I do have to use the facilities. So
you are going to mute me, right? You're going to make sure that I have no ability to do anything disruptive.
Well,
don't forget to do that.
I trust that you will do the mutant.
Don't enable me.
It's all about responsibility.
Go do it.
Be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Play their games. Everybody loves to place their bets. They don't understand the price I paid. They don't care to comprehend. Trace their lines upon my body, dripping scars across my heart. Raining anger pours inside me, and their lies keep falling apart. just another fucking mask. Taking off the slice of my sanity, just make sure that you're well fed.
Thank you guys for the compliments. I appreciate that. Thanks, T-Bone. That's it's just something I put together years and years ago. That video is that song's probably from like 2010 or 2008, something like that. I wrote it back then, but the bass line was written by my old bass player back in the day. His name is Jeremy. He goes by Goose. Very, very talented guy. But we just pulled that song together. It was a lot of fun. So thank you guys. I appreciate that. But, of course, YouTube was the provider of a ton of videos that I compiled for that. But, God, I used to use that when I was doing internet radio. That was because he'd hit these the internet breaks where commercials played. And so I had to space it out. And so I played those videos for the YouTube audience because they didn't want to listen to commercials. So that was what the reason for it was. Yeah, I haven't played it for a long time. Yeah, long time ago. You're right. If you ever want to hear some of the music that I've written, in the description, there's a Bandcamp link. If you go over there, there's a few songs that I've put over there that you can go over and listen to if you choose to. I mean, no pressure. Thanks, Timoth, man. Appreciate it. All right, Naysay, are you with me still?
Absolutely, and I behaved.
All right, thank you. I'm glad you did. I knew you would. I believed in you. But now this is a segment that's a little newer to the show. Not really as much anymore because we've been after it for a long time. But it's a segment we like to call...
What the hell is that?
What the hell is that? There you go. Thank you, Rachel. Rachel put the link in the chat if anybody wants to check out my music. At least some of it. There's a few songs. Actually, if you listen to the show, all of the music you're hearing on the show is my music, the intro, the outros, whatever, and the podcast as well. And the end of the podcast is a collaboration song that I did with Jesse Wilkins of Hometown Ghost Stories. And that one turned out really cool. I really love that song. But that's a newer thing. Jesse did his producer magic stuff. It's just incredible. So if you haven't heard my podcast or the song at the very end of the podcast, that's one that was written within the last couple of years. Yep. Every night. Yeah, every night, Chris. You're right, Chris Jarvis. Absolutely, brother. Because we'd always have commercials. So anyway, this is What the Hell Is That? This is a segment where where I present you guys with some alleged evidence of paranormal things happening, and you be the judge. I was gonna play one more thing. I'll have to do it maybe at the tail end of the show. There's a song that was made for me by Owl, and it's a really cool song. I just remembered it now. I'm kind of scattered tonight, so my apologies, but maybe I'll play it tomorrow just because I don't want to smash it in. Maybe we'll lead off the show tomorrow with it. But the idea behind this is for you guys to look at the evidence that's portrayed. Obviously, there's a million questions we can't answer, but just in looking at it, much like you do with most YouTube videos or whatever you're watching, creators on investigations and stuff, you have to take it for, what you can see. But the question is, do you believe what you're looking at is possibly real evidence? Or do you believe it's a bunch of crap? So the way that you weigh in on this is you vote. If you think what you watched is real, give me a 1 in chat. If you think what you watched is not real, give me a 0 in chat. Like if you think it's a hoax or just misunderstood, misinterpreted, perhaps, like lens flares are not always, spirit orbs, that kind of thing. That is obviously some of it. Or if you think it's AI or whatever, just give me a 0 in chat. Or if you're somewhere in the middle, give me a decimal, 0.5 if you're halfway, like, yeah, maybe it's real, maybe it's not, I don't know. And then, vice versa. If you think it's mostly real, probably, then 0.75, but you're still holding out a little doubt. So whatever. But anyway, let's check this out, shall we? Yeah. All right. Sorry. Just saw something in chat. And let's get to this. Here it is. Naysay, I will do my best to explain to you what we're seeing. And I don't know if you'll be able to weigh in on it necessarily because you still, you're not seeing it, but at any rate, you'll understand what we're looking at. So the first, well, let me size this up here. I got to do some resizing because I got very different size monitors, and when I move things over to the other one, it is way too big. There we go. That should work. That should work. I think I can make it a little bigger than this. There we go. All right. I think this should do it. This is the first video. This is kind of a trifecta. It's a compilation video. I was mostly interested in the first part. The other two parts, I'm pretty sure, are just AI fabrications. But I'm curious what you guys think of this first part. And we don't have much to go on. This is posted by Raymond Vergara, Vergara, on Facebook. And there is a date on this. This is obviously very cropped. So it looks like it came from an old video recorder or an old trail cam or something. We don't really know. But what do you think we're looking at? So again, the voting is going to be mostly on the first one. I'll show you the whole video just because, I mean, it's interesting. And maybe you think other parts of it are real too. But if you want to vote on the other ones, separate your votes with a comma. Like it's a 3-parter. There's the clip that you see on your screen now will play. That'll be the first one. The second one has to do with some weird frog thing. And the third one has to do with a weird worm thing. So if you want to vote on all 3, like you think one of them might be real, but the other 2 aren't, or vice versa, whatever. Just separate them by commas, 3 votes if you want to vote on all 3. But here we go. Let's take a look at this. See what you guys think.
So what the heck is that thing running? Is it just a person? Because it looks like it has something on its back. Because we tend to overlook the desert areas, but if this is a cryptid, what is it? Now, what the heck kind of creature is that? Because I
think I'm going to cue out his voice. I mean, obviously he's just going to be, what's this? What's that? What's that? What's this? No criticism of the guy. But this is one he compares to a Mongolian death worm or something, maybe. But you be the judge. These are the videos. So the one that I was mostly interested in was the first one. Personally, I think the second 2 are absolutely AI, but is this an actual capture or not? I find it weird that it's kind of walking here and then it starts sprinting. That to me is a little suspect. Like, yeah, the exposure looks pretty good. It's even kicking up dust when it's running, which kind of, makes it seem like it might be interacting with the environment, but could still be AI. But what do you guys think? What are you looking at here? Time to vote. Let's see what you guys think. I'm just going to keep clicking it and you guys can vote. All right. Mel comes in with 0.75. 0.500 from Rachel. 100 from Wizard Moon. Thinks the first one could be real. Was the guy in the blue undies, Paul? What blue undies guy? Aussie Boss Tiger's giving this one a 1. Sure. I mean, it could be. We often hear stories of skinwalkers and dogmen. So could this be a more physically rendered one? Is it carrying something? It's hard to say. I'd like to see the beginning again. Is that a bird? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's like an emu or an ostrich. I don't think it's like that because it does have an arm that pokes out at the side here once in a while, like an elbow. You can see an elbow poking out. There it is. Look at that take right there. Yeah. So 0.75 from Kitty Kerouac, 0.8 from Susie. Awesome from Jose, 0.5 from Diane, 1 from the Oceans. All right. Paul is the blue undie guy, Brent. Okay. Yeah, I saw Paul in undies at the conference. That was a little more than I could have dealt with. Still, I'm scarred. Nah, Paul's a handsome guy, but still don't generally like to see guys in undies. I mean, the field's looking at it. Yeah, there you go. 0.5 hard anymore with AI. Too, that's very true too, Shadows. I mean, all of it could be AI. Obviously, the frog thing here and the worm, I'm absolutely confident is AI. I don't give either of these too much, but the first one I thought has some merit as maybe being an old video and just got slapped together with this other compilation. But the only thing that I don't like is that whole clip it's running, but here somehow he caught it walking. Was that first? Is it out of sequence? I don't know. But interesting all the same. Bigfoot running like a girl. Chris Jarvis says. Maybe. Yep. Maybe. But that's all we got. It does a really good job. I mean, they really, everything matches. Like the way he zooms in, it's all blurry and then it gets sharper. It was really well done if it's fake. AI makes everything look amazing though. So you're right. All of it could be AI, but these are definitely AI. This is just what you expect from AI. But the worm thing, that's kind of creepy because there is the Mongolian death worms out in the deserts out there, they say. At least it's a legend, and I imagine it could look something like this. I don't know what a death worm looks like, but I kind of...
Also, there's that worm at the bottle of the mezcal bottle.
Oh, yeah, that tequila worms are a whole different kind of dangerous cryptid. I had a few of those in the years gone by, and nothing but horror stories after that. So there you go. What do we got over in Rumble? All right, Barbara Moore is giving it a 5.00. Dog Digger's 0.25. Car Juice is 0.5. Okay. Yep. I think it's interesting. Maybe something, maybe not, but it's a good first take. So that's the first video on What the Hell Is That? Granted, probably it's all AI, but what do you know? This one I thought was hilarious. I'm going to pause it and this is when the paranormal goes wrong. This one's hilarious. All I'm going to say is if you're going to haunt someone, be careful. Be careful. What happened? Well, watch this. Here you go. She's out there. That lady just drills her with a pot. She's like all done. She's all done with this spooky ghost thing. She just nails her with a big cooking pot. I don't know. Do you think that's real paranormal activity? Anybody want to vote? I think it's hilarious. This one cracked me up. I thought it was hilarious. She just gets drilled with that pot. That grandma's like all done. All done. So what's going on, Naysay, is this woman is dressed up like, kind of like Samara from The Ring. And she's just standing outside of this people's like fenced in patio. And she's like staring into the camera. And this old hijabbed grandma comes out with a big cooking pot and chucks it and hits the ghost girl in the head. And she goes down like a brick. Not that I'm advocating violence in any way, but if you're going to prank people, you got to be ready to take it on the chin like that or on the side of your head. That is just hilarious. She just got drilled. She's done. She's all done putting up with this crap. So that's what everybody's watching right now, Naysay. Just don't screw with grandmas. Grandmas don't got time for your crap. Definitely.
Well, have you ever done that before when you try to scare somebody and then they will strike out in fear?
Honest to God, I don't think I've ever gone out of my way to try to prank somebody like that, But I've seen the videos of people like just get like this guy pops out of a garbage can wearing a Halloween mask, and this dude just drills him right in the jaw and drops him like a sack of flour. It's like, oh man, he did not get the reaction he was hoping for, clearly. Yep, you're out of here is right, Beth. Yeah, that just cracks me up because it's like, oh, how's your joke now? Real funny. Enjoy your stitches. So I had to share that one because we don't see many like that. But that's the other side of a bad prank. You're going to hoax, get ready to take a pot upside your head. So this one is from a nursing home. It's allegedly poltergeist activity. Or I guess it's a hospital. It says hospital shared a very terrifying footage of one of the rooms. The room suddenly gets occupied without anyone entering it. Damn it, they got that stuff. I can't really read it. The nurses rush to check the room and find, I don't know, they find nobody's there. Anyway, but it's got fonts all over the place. A font on the actual frame of the video itself, and then the font from Facebook, so it's all screwed up. So this is from the Paranormal Activity Facebook group, and we're going to check this one out next. Here it is on screen. And I think we can do noise, but we'll see. If it's got music, I got to shut it off. But here we go.
I don't know, no one's in there. It's crazy.
So there's the help light flashing.
Yes.
The door shut.
No, stop. I'm not going anymore. I don't like this. No, I don't like this. I don't like this.
Okay, you're going to stop this right now.
So that's interesting because she's actually talking to the room. This is obviously not their first rodeo dealing with this room. This room must be one of those rooms that gets the activity. So at the door's shut. She's like, you're going to stop this right now. Like, good for her. She's like laying it down. And nobody there.
I don't know, no one's in there.
Nobody there. So that's the video. Do you guys think this could be a great clip of some hospital activity? We've certainly covered tons of stories of rooms just like that. The one room that always has the issues. So what do you think? Got some votes. Part 1. I think, Jose, you're still voting on that first one. Okay. 0.5. Yeah. I think there's maybe a possibility of that one. Paul's weighing in. He's giving it a 1. Elaine giving it a 1. T-Bone's halfway there. Karen Alberding 1, Kedster 1. Could be faulty, could be, but clearly they can reset it and it works fine. Wizard Moon 1, Diane Fowler 1, Aussie and Rachel both 1, The Oceans 1, could be. 9.99 on my one key broke. My one key broke. Okay, good enough. Adventures with Beth. Your one key is broke. You can give us 0.99s. O plus. What is OH plus, Tim Hoffman? I don't know what that vote means. I see no head. Oh, you're still looking at that first video. You think you got behind us, Jose, but you're not going to hear this till you catch up. So, Henry Dogg's giving it a 1. Lenda's giving it a 1. Vincent Sanchez is giving it a 1. All right, over on Rumble, Barbara is giving it a 1, as is Car Juice. Yeah, I think this is probably legit. Certainly, hospitals, whether they're commissioned or decommissioned, are definitely active places. There are definitely a lot of things going on because these are psychic hotspots full of absolute impressions. So Naysay, what's going on in this one is the standard thing that we hear all the time from hospitals. An unoccupied room, a trouble light goes off like a patient needs help, and then the door shuts and the nurses know there's nobody in there. So 2 nurses walk down, one's recording with a phone. The others gets up to the door and goes, you were going to knock this off. And then they go in and investigate, and sure enough, nobody's there, and they reset the trouble light. So what do you think of hospitals, Naysay? You agree? They're pretty haunted places?
I think they're soul collecting depositories.
Yeah. I think you're right. At least fragments. Yeah.
Well, they say that energy cannot be destroyed.
Or created.
It can only be moved, but it can be stored. Think of a battery.
Right, good point.
So the potential of capturing energy is, well, I believe in it because I've been told by elders that they can put spirits into an inanimate object.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Especially entities of negativity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's binding spells in all kinds of esoteric practices, binding spirits to things.
No, even like the genie.
Yep.
The Dybbuk box.
Dybbuk boxes, sure. Yep. Yep. Yeah, exactly. And certainly haunted objects, haunted dolls, again, I'm sure that not all those spirits did that intentionally. They might have been bound to some of those. You know, some of those dolls might have had spirits bound to them rather than them choosing to be bound to it.
Well, some of the
that was it.
Grimoires, they
some of those
the grimoires.
Grimoires, sure.
They talk about these.
Yep.
Castings of
summonings, castings, bindings, conjurings. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Watch what you deal with, people.
Yeah.
It's all fun and game until I'm going to swallow your soul.
Yep. Until your soul is dangling by a thread. You're like, oops. So, got to protect yourself. Absolutely. All right. We're going to go.
I'm not a fan. Sorry, I was going to give another disclaimer. I'm not a fan of synthetic hallucinogens. I think this is a possibility of something stepping in when you open up that portal of your third eye.
Yeah.
When you open something, that means something can go in and something can come out.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. So we're going to go on to the next video, and this one really isn't so much a voting video. It's actually somebody practicing parkour, but I was so blown away by this because he's doing it in trees. Now, if any of you guys have seen this anime that I'm wearing, it's called Naruto. And they always have that's a ninja thing, Ninja Village or whatever, and they're always running through the trees. And when you watch the anime, it's obviously like, oh, sure, you're just hopping through trees. But then I saw this guy, and I'm like, oh, yeah, wait, maybe you can just hop through trees like we're almost back at our primate roots or something. Then check this video out. This isn't really a voting one. It's just a what the hell is that in a different sense, because this guy is kicking ass going through these trees, doing things that I can't even imagine. But it's just amazing to watch. So let's check it out. I hope there's no music. I may have to mute it, but here's the video. Let me know what you think. Oh, I got to mute it. But look at this guy go. He's climbing way up that tree, bending it down, going to the next one. This is stuff that it's hard to believe that people can do, but this is one of the reasons I love things like the X Games and stuff, because these people are pushing the limits of everything. And of course, with cryptids, especially Bigfoot, there's a lot of people that believe that they traverse trees a lot. And that might seem hard to understand when you're looking at a 900-pound, 1,000-pound thing, but this is an adult that's maybe he's only about 150 pounds, but he's traversing these things with a human agility. And I'm just blown away by that. So, I mean, if a guy can do it, I can certainly believe a Bigfoot could do it much, much easier with, multiples of strength beyond what human beings have and agility. But isn't that crazy? He's doing parkour in the trees, for God's sakes.
Have you ever been in the forest where they have vines?
Yeah, I mean, there's vines back in the forest back home, not here in North Idaho, where it's all conifer trees, but
in Indianapolis, way back in the 70s, we had the woods there, had the vines throughout there, and we had this one area that we set up like what you're describing.
Yeah.
Where we had about a 30-yard run or route to where we could start on this fallen tree, grab a vine, and then do that to the next tree.
Yeah.
And then you can go up so far, and then the branch was high enough for the other branch of the other tree.
Right.
And so we did that, you know, from tree to tree to tree with vines and how to maneuver it.
Wow.
And so that's what it made me wonder, is if the guy did it repeatedly over and over again, you know, so in the final cut, it's like, wow, look at him, you know.
Well, there's no cuts in this thing. It's literally him going up trees, going down the trees, and then leaping to another tree. I mean, it's the funny thing is a lot of these branches that he's trusting, I would have been like, yeah, well, you know, again, I'm packed a lot. I got a lot more meat packed in my suit than his, but you know, I wouldn't have even thought they could support the weight, but clearly, you know, he's doing just fine. And I mean, he's actually climbing the trees until they bend down and bring him to another tree that he can jump off at. And it's just spectacular. I'm just so blown away by his agility and his ability to traverse that. So it's coming from
just that parkour in itself, and when you see him doing it in the alleys and the cities and stuff.
Oh man, yeah. These guys are truly geniuses of motion. And you know, parkour was originally developed by special forces for evasion techniques. Well, I mean, obviously the shinobi warriors were doing this way back in ancient Japan, and you know, the Hwarang and in Korea and other versions throughout Asia and India. But you know, I mean, it literally looks like what's that game? Assassin's Creed. It looks like that, like the guy running around, and this guy's doing it for real. So it's pretty crazy. But anyway, I just thought it was cool to show you guys. You know, we don't really know what we're capable of, but it's guys like this that keep showing us. And I love that. I love their spirit. I love that they continue to push the boundaries. You know, it's scary to think that one bad move and it'll be the end of his career or his life. But I love that he's willing to push the envelope to find out. That's just such a cool spirit.
If you cannot see the miracle in the mirror, you're not looking close enough, because the miraculousness of the human body and what it can do.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for this wheelchair and all that stuff, I probably would have taken myself out with all of this crazy new sports and stuff. I remember when I first saw the flying squirrel suit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was like, why not?
Why not? Yep. No, that's very true. But I just wanted to share this one with you guys. Not really much to vote on, just something to kind of celebrate the human spirit and what we're capable of. We often forget we're way too willing to accept boundaries, and it's guys like this that are pushing them to figure out what we can do. So just wanted to share that different take. We got a few more to get through. Probably only going to get through one more tonight, and then try to hit a cryptid story before we're done here, because we're burning through the clock. But again, that's Anthony Dennis, Denis. That's his Facebook page. I think that's him in the trees, as far as I can tell. I haven't looked at the rest of his page, but just amazing stuff. So this is the last one that we're going to cover tonight. So I'll put it up on screen. And this is from Crypted University. Out in the woods alone, and you hear that sound. Packing up or finding out what's out there? That's a good question. Let's check out this sound. This is one you can appreciate, Naysay, because it's audio. Here we go. Come on, give me some volume. There we go. All right, let's check it out. Here is the sound, Crypted University. Let me back it up to the very beginning. All right, here we go.
You have to hear this.
So there it is. That's the sounds. I think they might be legit Bigfoot sounds. I just don't know that they belong on this video. They sound like they're compiled on this video. Like she's standing out in the woods. She's got a split screen somehow. I mean, probably is legitimately split screen. I didn't know you could do that, where you could put yourself in the screen as you're rotating around. But it just kind of seems to me that those sounds are layered on top of this. They sound exceptionally loud, like they're really, really close. And most often, I don't know. I do think that they might be legitimate sounds that people have recorded. I just am not sure that they belong in this video, but you vote. Are we hearing actual Bigfoot screams that she captured? I don't think there's any question that some of the vocalizations she's playing on this video or that we're hearing on this video are legitimate. My question is it legitimately belonging to this video? She seems rather calm for being right in the midst of all of this racket. And maybe she's been around it a bunch, and maybe she's desensitized. But if I was out there in the woods and heard that, that'd be like one brown stripe all the way to my car.
You know what it made me think of?
What's that?
It made me think of back in 1876, where a bunch of meat fell from the sky. People were yelling with excitement.
Yeah. Yep, it could be. Yeah, that was the sounds of people cheering the meat rain. Tim Othman's giving it a 0.75. Susie writes, thinking they don't really belong on that video. But again, I'm not saying they're not legitimate sounds. Yeah, I just think that they're probably don't seem to be legitimately recorded on this video. The hoo-ha sounds like a human, Delilah says. Yeah, I mean, their vocal range for Bigfoot does go in and out of the human range. They do make a lot of sounds that can be misinterpreted as human beings. 0.5 to 0.8, Jose's saying. Wizard Moon 0.50, not her capture, Susie says. Yeah, I'd be worried as well. Yeah, I just don't think you stand there calmly while that's going on around you. 0.25, Henry Dog says, one sound, 0 for the video. Okay, fair enough, yeah. Diane Fowler's giving it a 1, 0 not hers, Elaine says. 0.5 from Aussie, Brent Van Hoen, 0.5. Vince Sanchez giving it a 0, she's bad. Paranormal Discussions, Mickey. Is that talking about the cat or I don't know what you're talking about. 0.5, my gut says it's a recording from a valley at nighttime. Real sound, wrong video. Yeah, that's what I'm getting to, Rachel. I believe that it's a combination, but they are real. Yeah, the audio, I think, is real vocalizations. Real audio, wrong video. Yep, Beth, I agree. I agree with Rachel, says Amy. She's standing there too calm. I think so. I don't know how much you can get exposed to before it just becomes normal. 0 from Barbara Mora, not guttural enough. Sounds more human in my humble opinion. Yeah, it could be. Car Juice is saying nope as well. Not buying any of it. So fair enough. Okay. Big D, you got a thought on this one? And Dog Digger? Dog's a Bigfoot researcher, so I know that he's very aware of the audio and such. So it'd be great to see his response. But yeah, I think it's pretty fascinating. Pretty fascinating stuff. All the same, Brandon saw my mom standing in the recovery room after his surgery 2 years ago. Brandon saw my mom standing in the recovery room after his surgery 2 years ago. Is your mom not with us any longer, Mickey? I remember meeting Brandon. Brandon's a great kid. Yeah, let me know. You're lucky to get one vocal, never mind the whole gambit. Yeah, Elaine says she's been gone since 2020. Wow. That's amazing. After his surgery. So he's coming out of anesthesia and she was there with him. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, Mickey. Very beautiful. Didn't see it. Giving dog meds. Gotcha, Dog Digger. No worries. I was just curious what you thought. It's a bunch of vocalizations basically, but I don't think they're from the video. Let me just re-cue it and let you hear it, Dog.
You have to hear this.
There was stuff falling out of the tree there. So. So the question are those real vocalizations? I think a lot of them are. What we're curious about is, do you think that they belong in this video, or were they layered on top of there? Now, there is something that's falling from the tree here that kind of coincides with some of the breaks, as if something big was thrown up there. It might be that some of the sounds were legit, that thing there where it was dropping down. But her head's right in or her frame is in the wrong place. So I don't know why she chose to do FaceTime during this video, but at any rate, it's fascinating. But too much compilations. Yeah, Dog Digger says, too much compilations. Yeah, it sounds like a collection of them just layered on top of this. So that's what we're all saying too. Great job, everybody. I think you all weighed in well on this. Naysay, what was your thought on that one? Did you say?
Yeah, I mean, with the other Sasquatch capturing, it does sound similar to them. Mm-hmm. But as you stated earlier, to get just one vocalization and then get several, that's pretty fortunate.
Yeah, it's like watching Mountain Monsters. I used to watch that show, and I really had high hopes for it, but then I realized it was Scooby-Doo for adults. I still watched it anyway because I just thought it was kind of a yuck, but I didn't really expect them to turn up the actual evidence that I was originally hoping when I heard the explanation for what the show was going to be. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. These guys probably know their way through the woods. And then, yeah, it was just a TV show. So that's the way that rolls. But I'll tell you what, folks, we're about out of time. I just want to give you guys plenty of time to head over and see the man himself, Mr. Dave Scott, over on Spaced Out Radio. It'll be coming on in literally 2 minutes. So go to youtube.com/spacedoutradio. T-Bone put it in there. Talking Lost Worlds tonight over on Spaced Out Radio. 3 hours of amazing show by none other than the man himself, Mr. Dave Scott. So go support him. Give him your love and let him know the portal sent you. And that's all we got time for. Naysay, thank you, brother. Appreciate you being here with me.
It has always been a pleasure, my brother, from the same Mother Earth. I bask in your illumination because I know your worth. So again, my friend, until then, I think there's one more, Friday the 13th this year. Well, so I'll be around if the universe allows it. Right. Toodles.
Yes, sir, brother. We'll get you back for that one for sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us. All right, time to roll. Remember, we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other and help each other out. Find the magic in every day and remember to laugh as much as you can. And I'll see you here tomorrow night, 7 p.m. for the next one. Until then, good night, everybody.